Before industrial Ethernet ever existed, the factory floor had a wiring problem. Every sensor and every actuator ran its own pair of wires all the way back to the control cabinet. On a big plant, that meant miles of cable. Then Fieldbus arrived and changed everything. One digital cable, daisy-chained from device to device, replaced all of that point-to-point wiring. So what is Fieldbus, really? In this video, I will explain what Fieldbus is in plain English, why it transformed the factory floor, the major Fieldbuses you will actually meet, and how it stacks up against the Ethernet that came after it. Let us start with the wiring. Quick note before we dig in. This is from PLC Simulator, where you can practice PLC networking and the rest of this video free, right in your browser. No install, no hardware. The link is in the description. Click the link in the description to try it free. Now, back to the wiring problem. Start with the old way. For decades, every signal got its own wire. A classic 4 to 20 milliamperes loop carried exactly one analog value in one direction, with no diagnostics at all. So a plant with thousands of signals meant thousands of wires. Huge terminal blocks, and a single wiring fault that could swallow a whole day. A Fieldbus replaces all of that. It is a digital serial network that links many field devices on one shared bus. Instead of one signal per wire, the devices exchange digital messages, both directions, over a single cable that hops from node to node. That is the core idea. Many devices, one bus, talking digitally. Now, why that matters? Going digital on a shared bus brings 3 big wins. First, wiring. You collapse miles of individual cables down to one trunk, so far less cable, conduit, and terminal blocks. Second, diagnostics. Because devices talk both ways, each one can report its own health and fault straight back to the controller. A block sensor or a failing valve announces itself. Third, remote configuration. You can range a transmitter or check a valve from the control room instead of walking out to the device. Less wire, more visibility, and less time on your feet. That combination is what sold Fieldbus to industry. So which Fieldbuses will you actually meet? There are a handful that dominate. Profibus is the Siemens world workhorse, huge across process and factory automation. Modbus is the simple, open, everywhere protocol, very often running over RS-485 wiring. DeviceNet is built on CAN, and it is common on Allen Bradley device-level networks. Foundation Fieldbus targets process plants and can even run control loops down in the field devices themselves. And CAN Open shows up a lot in machines and motion control. Each one has its own niche, but they all share that same core idea, many devices on one digital bus. I compare several of these head-to-head in a separate industrial networks video, link below. Now the big question, how does Fieldbus compare to industrial Ethernet? Ethernet is the faster successor. Protocols like Profinet and Ethernet/IP carry the same idea over standard Ethernet hardware. That means far higher speed and much easier integration with the IT world. So is Fieldbus dead? Not even close. The installed base is enormous. There are millions of Fieldbus devices already wired into plants that run every single day. Nobody rips out a working network just because something faster exists. So you'll meet both side by side for years to come. I cover the Ethernet side in detail in the linked What is Industrial Ethernet video. So here's what to walk away with. A Fieldbus is a digital serial network. It links many field devices on one shared bus. And that one idea, replacing miles of point-to-point wiring with a single digital cable, is what changed the factory floor. It cut wiring, added diagnostics, and enabled remote configuration. The big names are Profibus, Modbus, DeviceNet, Foundation Fieldbus, and CAN Open. Industrial Ethernet is the faster successor, but Fieldbus is still everywhere in the installed base. Get that, and the comms layer of a plant stops being a mystery. Now, go make it concrete. If you want to practice PLC networking hands-on, click the link in the description to start free at plcsimulationsoftware.com. No hardware, no install. Subscribe. New video every Tuesday. See you in the next one.